I'm Ryan Milliken from Hardway Performance, and you're listening to the Diesel Podcast.
I'm Dimitri Miller with No Zone Diesel.
This is Anthony Rings from XDP.
This is Jaron Holder from Holderdown Performance.
Corey Willis from PPEI.
I'm Drew with D&J Precision Machine.
I'm Pinky.
And you're listening to the Diesel Podcast.
Diesel Podcast.
You're listening to the Diesel Podcast.
The Diesel Podcast. The one and only Diesel Podcast.
What is going on, Diesel Nation? Today we're going to be talking about a very rare 6.7 liter Cummins, not only because it's painted Tequila Sunrise Pearl, but it's pushing 650 plus horsepower through a stock 68 RFE. Before we get to it though, we wanted to thank you guys for all the iTunes reviews and the suggestions that you guys have had for different guests or topics. We've been combing through all of them. We're lining up episodes for you guys. Keep blowing us up, keeping us busy with your suggestions. It's how we make this podcast your podcast. Also want to encourage you guys to go to thedieselpodcast.com. All of our episodes are uploaded there, so if you're looking for one convenient place to go, they're updated daily. We also have an apparel store as well, so if you'd like to support us, get a hat, t-shirt, mug, anything like that, it's right there on thedieselpodcast.com. Tyler, I'm glad to have you on the podcast today. Your truck caught my attention, catches a lot of people's attention, and I just want to talk trucks with you.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. It's definitely an eye-opener. It really gets people's attention with it being a unique color.
That was one of the things that grabbed my attention is I have never seen that factory color in person, and I don't see many of them on social media, but it's not just that, it's the whole truck. But I wanted to start at the beginning and have you tell the story of this truck, if it was, something you searched for, something that you just came across, how you came to buy this truck.
Absolutely, yeah. I came across the truck, my actual brother-in-law was searching for a truck to find and to buy the 4-round horse trailers. I came across it. It was at a local car dealership used. I'm the second owner of it. So I came across it, and he had it sitting there. I was like, man, I seen it, had the color on it. And then I was like, oh, I'm buying it anyways. But it ended up being everything I wanted. It had a 6.7 liter in it. It's a Laramie package. Got all the bells and whistles. Pretty sweet deal. Come to find out, they didn't make very many in this color. It is a factory paint. They made only supposedly 43 of them in this color in a 3500 base. They only made 13 of those single rear wheel axles, and they only made 5 of those Laramies. As I'm told, through one of my buddies, they wanted to do some research on it, and that's what they found out on it. So I was like, man, that's definitely an eye-opener. It's definitely a keeper. But yeah, definitely pretty cool.
What's the factory name for the color?
The factory name for the color is Tequila Sunrise Pearl. Mm-hmm. It's really weird when you take a picture of it in the shade, it's a different color. It's that pearl in it, man. It really sets off when you got it nice and cleaned up and in the sunlight. But yeah, it's definitely unique.
That's what I noticed is some of the pictures on your Instagram is it looks almost a little bit different based on where the sun's at and the angle and everything else. And it's such a cool color. But you've done so much more with it than that. If you could tell our listeners, once you got the truck, how'd you jump into modifying it, changing the look of it, making it yours?
So basically, when I got the truck, I had some plans for it. I didn't really, know exactly what I'm going to do, being that I don't want to make it nothing dramatic. I've done a couple of different add-ons as far as looks and appearances. I got Miles Flight Fabs. I got his traction bars on it. And I got his tow hooks on the front of it, his billet tow hooks he just came out with. I was at Shy Diesel event last year. I had a guy come up to me, and he told me about the traction bars, and I got in contact with him, and supposedly the frame mounts on them were basically a custom one-off. He only made very few sets. I think he said about 3 sets of them. So I was like, heck yeah, that's cool. And then he came out with the billet tow hooks. I was like, man, I got to have those. So I contacted him. He goes, yeah, there's no problem. And it was coming up on UCC time. I'm like, well, I got to have them, is all. So his first set he ever made, he took them off his personal truck and shipped them to me, and there we went from there. So, but that's about it on appearance. On the besides wheels and tires, of course, I've changed wheels and tires. It's probably had 12 sets on it since this time last year.
I saw a lot of guys asking you about the wheels and tires. What size, what brand, what are you running now?
Okay, what I'm running right now is a Fuel Forge FF19. It's a 24 by 14 with a Conforcer NP 33 1250. It's the stretch tire look. I'm not huge on it. I like it. Yeah, it's risky. But everyone's like, well, when you run in stretch like that, you run into bead problems. I've never had any problems as far as beading or none of that. They've been pretty decent tire so far for this set. But I can't come across a set that I really quite love. I had 355s on it, 355/40 R22s on my last set, SF19s, and they weren't quite cutting the deal. The truck needed lifted. It was revving too hard. Man, these got to go.
It has a really nice stance, though. Like it's just the whole appearance of the truck. And the other thing that caught my attention too is it's two-tone, but the bottom of it's black. How'd that happen?
The truck, like I said, I'm the second owner. The first owner that had it, he spun it around or something, did something to the bed. They ended up replacing the bed, and they actually repainted it. It's still a factory paint. The paint code says it all. It's a Laramie truck, so it came two-tone. It came the gold and silver. Well, when they repainted the bed, they went ahead and did the black around the bottom. I believe I've been talking to a couple different guys, and we're talking about repaint it this winter. I'm thinking I might go one soft. I haven't quite made up my mind yet. It just depends on what we do, because I might be putting a BDS suspension lift on it, or I might be doing air ride. I don't know yet come winter.
Nice. Did you do the front and rear, match the front and rear bumpers, or was that already done when you got the truck?
That was done when I bought the truck. They were already paint matched with the two-tone. So it clashes really well. It flows really well. So for a two-ton truck, it looks I think, pretty decent.
And I know the listeners out there thinking, all right, I like the sounds of this truck, but we're all into diesel performance. We all like to make them go a little bit faster. You gotta walk me through the modifications on this.
All right. Well, so everyone, all we want, 1,000 horsepower and everything.
Yeah.
It's not very feasible for this thing. It's like I said, it's a daily driver. So I just went ahead. When I first got the truck, it was bone stock. Went ahead and I got a 5-inch Flow Pro stainless turbo back, and I had a turbo take a crap on me. So I was in the middle of rebuilding one. I rebuilt another stock one, put it on, and then what do you know, head gasket goes. So I ended up getting a hold of Vaughn and them out there at Fire Punk and took it out to them. They put some head studs in it, came across an ATS 3-piece manifold with a Fleece Performance 2nd gen swap, and I had them throw that on with it. So it has the Fleece S467 on it with a 3-piece ATS manifold for right now. Great stuff. It's really, really nice because you can, on the ATS manifold, just stick your EGD probe and it's already tapped, ready for you, ready to go, and good to go from there. So it's pretty cool. I like it.
It definitely saves time versus tapping one.
Oh, yeah.
And how do you like the S467 for daily driving?
For daily driving wise, it does great. I got Xtreme 150 horse injectors in it with a Sportsman pump and Levon's EFI Live with his trans tuning. So as far as daily driving with that turbo, even on stock fuel, because I recently had stock fuel before, had a fuel pump go out on me, so it lead me down the road of, hey, time to upgrade injectors since the pump went out, sent a lot of metal through. So we went ahead and put all that in. And on stock fuel, that Trio, it did really well. I had people telling me, "Oh, it's gonna be too laggy. You ain't gonna do nothing with it." I never really seen any problems out of it. And then once I added a little more fuel to it, it really lit up. It'll get out of its way now. I don't know what kind of power it's making at the moment, but on stock fuel and just a charger and my previous tunes, which were PPEI, they're EFI Live, the truck dynoed at 650 and 1,200 foot-pounds. So it did pretty well. But now it runs real good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you got some fuel you can throw at it and support it. What kind of boost numbers do you see out of it?
Right now, my Edge CTS2, it doesn't really, I don't know why I don't read out all the way, but it only reads up to like 36 pounds and it cuts out. The most it's gotten, it records up to like 30, I think the most I've seen on it was like 37 pounds. So I don't think that's correct. So I don't know until if I were to do, manual gauges and whatnot, but I don't like that look. I like where it's all digital in here inside the cockpit, having digital monitor. It looks a lot cleaner.
You could always go with that Edge, the expandable pack, where they have I think it's 100 PSI sensor you can couple with it, so you can read it higher. We've had a lot of guys ask about that. Yeah.
I'll have to look into that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, the digital looks really cool, especially like on your truck, and just the new ones with the interiors and everything on them. It's so clean to have just a digital setup and kind of have it blend in with everything else.
Right. That was my whole thought behind it. I was like, man, I don't really want to put, pillar gauges in a 2012. It's got all touchscreen radio and all the digital dash. I'm like, man, that won't look right. So I had to go with the new modern look for sure.
Now, getting this power to the ground, what's in the truck? Is it a G56, 68, or?
Right now it is a 68 RFE is stock. Believe it or not, it's holding up really well. Like I said previously, my EFI was done through PPEI. When I went to Voss, I had him go ahead and put on, his trans tuning, and it's really improved as far as shifting in a gear. He's really got his tuning dialed out. I mean, obviously, he's pretty well known for what he does out there. So, definitely, it was a game changer, and I was glad I did it for the trans tuning. Going down the road, daily driving it don't hesitate. It locks in the gear now. It holds pressure. It's awesome. But plans are for it. I think we're going to be going with I want to say we might be getting a Rev Max 750 for it. It just depends on the route I take with the truck. If I keep it low, it's going to get maybe a 48 swap through the Vaughn, or if I decide to keep it at the same power it's got now and lift it, I'm going to just go ahead and do a Rev Max 750, keep the 6-speed. So,
yeah, it seems like a lot of the 6.7 guys out there, you get to that point where it's, do I take the truck over 800, and go to a 48 swap, or keep it right there or under and stick with a 68 RFE? And that seems to be the most feedback we get from the builders out there and the truck owners like yourself, is really just that power number and which direction you want to go with it.
Right. Yeah, see, that's what I was viewing. I really enjoy the luxury of the 68 RFE. I do a lot of highway driving, so I feel like if I were to run the 48 in a higher power truck, it would have to sit, and I'd have to go another option on as far as a daily driver, but only time will tell.
You'd mentioned going to Scheid last year. Do you like to go or travel a lot to check out these races and UCC and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a blast. Of course, gotta go and gotta show off the gold pig, but We went to UCC this year. It was my first year. It was a blast. But we only went for Saturday. We're going to have to make it a 3-day trip next year. We went to Daytona. We went down for the whole week. That was a great time. Shod, same thing. We went last year and the year before. Last year I went on weekend. The year before I went for Saturday, which was chaos. Absolute blast. These meets and events like that, they're a lot of fun, but I feel like law enforcement has really cracked down on it. It's starting to become a thing of, do I really want to go and worry about, am I going to get a citation, that kind of stuff. But sometimes, like, why not just go and hang out? But, so we've been actually, I've became part of Central Ohio Truck Meets. We got our own thing going on right now. We're starting to get quite a few different sponsorships in with it. So hopefully maybe one day we'll have something here in Central Ohio. We're in the works of maybe possibly holding a pretty good event for everyone, but only, like I said, only time will tell on that. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, on your Instagram, I saw a lot of truck pictures. Like with your truck, it looked like there was a 6.4, a really clean 6.4, a Duramax.
Yep. Yeah, there's all the group. Yep, all the local guys. The 6.4 is my buddy Nate Jurgens. I'm actually going to wash up the truck and head out and hang out with him for a little bit tonight. And then Duramax, I believe you're probably talking about my buddy Dalton Brown. He's got a 6.0 now, Power Stroke. But yeah, we got quite a bit of trucks here in Ohio, Central Ohio. We're all definitely about that, stance game and all that fun stuff. Basically, everyone hates on truck drives, but it's still a lot of fun. You like to go and hang out, have fun, drink a couple beers here and there. But
and have the great debate of who makes the best diesel engine.
Oh, absolutely. It's always brought up. Man, my truck's better than yours. Well, mine looks better, though. No one's got this sweet paint.
That's what's so awesome about diesel performance and just diesel trucks is there's so many different looks, there's so many different build options, where they're like your truck, with the single that you got, contemplating a 68, 48, the different brands, just so many different things you can do with them. It's so cool, and that's why it's awesome to chat with you. When I came across your Instagram page, is one, the pictures that you have of your truck are amazing. We can't wait to share those. But then also how unique your build is, how you look for those custom or those one-off upgrades to it. So it's not, you're an enthusiast of the truck. You love Cummins trucks. You see it. It's like, where'd you get those tow hooks? Where'd you get this? Where'd you get that?
Mm-hmm. I always talk about it. Everyone's always asking, where'd you get this? Where'd you get that? How do you do this? How do you do that? That's something I really am glad I'm in the truck world and I'm a truck enthusiast, is because it seems like the truck community as a whole is very, everyone's very friendly. No one ever, turns a shoulder on one another. If you got a question, someone will answer it. I mean, heck, you could walk out to LeVon's place and walk out there after hours, walk in, talk to them. Cool as day. They've been very helpful as far as performance-wise in this thing. Helped me out huge. Yeah, it's definitely very cool. I know as far as car scene, I've heard so many things about the car scene. It's just like, man, I don't really want to join that. So when I came across the truck, I was like, I'm definitely going to buy that and start doing some trick stuff to it. So little things there, here and there, definitely really got up and got it to where it's show quality. Everyone's like, oh, man, that's pretty cool. It's not a steam build. It's a daily driver. It's got 200,000 miles on it. Got nicks and dings in it, but, that's in the process.
How do you keep it so clean?
Oh, man, that is that is an underestimated question there. I get that asked. My coworkers, they make fun of me. They're like, what are you going to do tonight? You go home and wash your truck? Well, actually, that's all I am, but yeah, it's definitely like a 40-hour job, it seems like. Every color is different. Everyone's like, well, that truck's so hard to keep clean. And I'm like, well, I beg to differ. I just like my truck to look crisp and clean everywhere I go. I don't want to represent it, as the name of it, a pig. So when I can get the time to wash it and clean it, wax it, hey, I'm doing it. But I mean, there's just so much behind it. It takes time.
It's almost therapeutic, though. Like, you go out there, it's a nice day, wash, wax, clean the undercarriage, do all the stuff. And then you can see, like, the labor of love. Like, it starts out dirty, and then it looks clean when you're all done. And enjoy it for a few days till it rains or something.
Exactly. Especially these wide wheels, man. First rainstorm, like, man, all that hard work just went down the drain. And then you're going, oh, well, look at the weather. Oh, I got a couple of days. We'll be all right.
The struggle is real.
Here in Columbus, it's been like the past 3 days. And it's like, man, when's it going to stop? And I'm going to break today. I'm like, all right, well, looks like today's wash day for the weekend. So.
Now that we've set the stage, so we've talked about your truck, what it looks like. It's a podcast, so they can't, listeners can't see it. Where can they find you on Instagram? What's your name on there?
Absolutely. You guys can find me on Instagram. My Instagram is Haines6.7. On there you can find all the information. I'm always, like I said, I go through wheels and tires left and right, so I'm always making deals on wheels. But you can check it out on there. I'm always posting up pictures. There's some pictures on there that make you question if you want to follow me. I do have a side deal. It gets a little bit of marveling, but, you'll see when you get there.
We'll make sure and tag you so it's easy for you guys that are listening to just click on over when we post these on Instagram. And I really appreciate your time today. I know today's truck washing day, and I don't want to keep you from it, but it's really cool. It's cool seeing what you're doing with the truck and how unique it is and what your goals are for it. And a lot of 6'7" guys listen to us, and they're right there where you're at, trying to think of how they want to build their truck. And you gave some great advice and brought up some things that they're going to be thinking about here pretty soon.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I said, truck community is so open door. If anyone ever has any questions about it or anything, or questions about something, want to talk to me, feel free. I'm open. I'll answer any question I can to the best of my ability. If I can, I'll shoot you somewhere I can give you an answer. But yeah, I really appreciate your time too. But yeah, it's getting to that time. It's got to get a wash. So looking at about an hour.
We'll let you get to it, man.
Cool, man. I appreciate your time.
Don't forget, guys, make sure and keep giving us ratings on iTunes, sending us messages on Facebook, Instagram with topics you want to hear about, guests you want to hear from. We take those and we turn them into episodes. Till next time, keep the shiny side up.